Captain Jack Reynolds squinted at the strange vessel that had appeared at the edge of Earth's orbit. It resembled nothing so much as a massive jellyfish made of gleaming metal, its tendrils extending hundreds of meters into space. "Status report," he barked into his comm unit. The International Space Defense Fleet had been established only 5 years prior, and this was the first real test of humanity's readiness for contact with extraterrestrial life. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission," Lieutenant Emma Davis reported, her voice steady despite the tension filling the bridge of the ISD Defender. It's in English." The main screen flickered, revealing a humanoid figure with translucent bluish skin and large, compound eyes. "Humans of Earth," the alien said, its voice oddly melodic. "I am Admiral Krell of the Galactic Unity. Your planet has been designated for immediate resource extraction. Resistance is futile but expected." Jack gripped the arms of his command chair. "This is Captain Jack Reynolds of Earth. We wish to establish peaceful relations." "Peace is not an option," Krell interrupted. "Your primitive species has been studied extensively. You will surrender or be eliminated." The transmission ended abruptly. "Battle stations," Jack ordered. All ships formed defensive perimeter. The Earth's fleet of 12 spacecraft, the most advanced technology humans had ever produced, moved into formation. Against the massive alien vessel, they looked like minnows facing a whale. "Sir," Emma called out, "they're launching something." Hundreds of smaller craft poured from the alien mothership. The battle was joined almost immediately, with brilliant beams of energy slicing through space toward the human vessels. "Evasive maneuvers," Jack shouted. The Defender shuddered as it was hit. Warning lights flashed across the bridge. "Damage report." "Sir," the weapons officer replied with confusion in his voice. "There's no damage. Our shields didn't even register an impact." Jack frowned. "That's impossible. We took a direct hit." The communications officer spoke up next. "Captain, we're getting reports from the other ships. Same situation. They're being hit but taking no damage." As the alien attack continued without effect, Jack ordered a counterattack. Earth's railguns and nuclear-tipped missiles struck the alien vessels with devastating force. One by one, the smaller craft exploded or went dark, drifting lifelessly through space. "Sir," Emma said, "we're being hailed again." Admiral Krell's face appeared once more, this time with an expression that Jack interpreted as shock. "How is this possible? Our weapons should have reduced your ships to atoms." Jack, not understanding himself but unwilling to show weakness, simply replied, "Perhaps you underestimated us." "This changes nothing," Krell hissed. "We have other methods." The alien mothership retreated beyond the moon's orbit, leaving behind its disabled attack craft. In the aftermath, scientists swarmed the captured alien vessels. Dr. Alan Parker, leading the research team, made a startling discovery within hours. The alien weapons, he explained to the hastily assembled Global Security Council, they operate on principles completely foreign to our physics. They're designed to disrupt molecular bonds by altering quantum states that aren't even accessible in our universe. "What does that mean in plain English, Doctor?" asked the UN Secretary General. Dr. Parker smiled grimly. "It means their weapons were designed to work on life forms and materials from their region of space. Something about Earth's position in the universe, or perhaps our evolutionary path, has made us and everything we create naturally immune to their primary weapons technology." Jack, attending the meeting remotely from the Defender, thought about the implications. "They'll be back with different weapons," he warned. "We need to prepare." Little did they know, the aliens were already adapting their strategy, and humanity's unexpected immunity was about to become the least of their concerns. 2 weeks after the failed alien attack, Dr. Lisa Nguyen hunched over an electron microscope in the secure underground laboratory beneath Geneva. The sample of alien tissue glowed faintly under the harsh laboratory lights. "This doesn't make any sense," she muttered, rubbing her tired eyes. Dr. Parker looked up from his computer terminal. What have you found? Their cellular structure. It's like nothing we've seen before. It's not carbon-based, but it's not silicon either. It's something else entirely. Lissa adjusted the microscope's settings. But here's the weird part. There are traces of what looks like human DNA markers. That's impossible, Parker said, moving to look at her findings. I know, Lisa agreed, but I've run the analysis 12 times. There's a connection. Meanwhile, in orbit around Mars, the alien mothership had established a temporary base. Admiral Krell faced the Galactic Unity Council on a massive holographic display. The humans are immune to our standard weaponry, Krell reported. This was unexpected. The council leader, a being composed entirely of shifting light patterns, spoke in a voice that seemed to come from everywhere at once. The precursor texts mentioned anomalies in that sector, but this is unprecedented. Have you determined the cause? Our preliminary analysis suggests that humans exist in a slightly different quantum state than most life in the galaxy. It appears to be an effect of their star's unique radiation signature and their planet's unusual magnetic field. Our standard phase disruptors simply pass through them without effect. And yet our physical projectiles work against them, another council member asked. Yes, Krell confirmed. Traditional kinetic weapons remain effective. We are retrofitting our fleet now. The extraction will proceed as planned. Back on Earth, the captured alien technology had yielded another surprising discovery. Captain Reynolds had been summoned to the Geneva facility for an emergency briefing. You're telling me these aliens are somehow related to us? Jack asked incredulously. Dr. Parker shook his head. Not exactly related. More like, we share certain genetic markers that shouldn't be possible through independent evolution. It's as if they, or we, were deliberately engineered with similar base templates. By whom? Jack asked. Lisa pulled up a 3D model on the main display. We don't know. But we found something else. The alien's immune system has a critical vulnerability to a common Earth bacterium, Streptococcus pyogenes. For them, it's like the most aggressive flesh-eating bacteria imaginable, but exponentially worse. Are you suggesting biological warfare? Jack frowned. I'm not suggesting anything, Lisa replied carefully. I'm just presenting the facts. This bacterium is harmless to us, but lethal to them. And given what we've learned about their intentions toward Earth. The discussion was interrupted by alarms blaring throughout the facility. Jack's comm unit activated automatically. Captain, Lieutenant Davis's voice came through. Tight with urgency, they're back. Multiple ships this time, at least 20 motherships similar to the first one. And sir, they're using projectile weapons. Our shields are holding for now, but they're taking damage. Jack looked at the scientists. Keep working. Find out why we're immune to their energy weapons and see if you can adapt that technology for our defensive systems. He turned to leave, then paused. And about that bacterium, prepare samples, just in case. As Jack rushed back to join the defense fleet, Dr. Parker made another startling discovery in the alien genetic code, a deliberate modification, as if the aliens had been specifically engineered to be vulnerable to Earth bacteria. It was no evolutionary accident. Lisa, he said, his voice barely above a whisper, I think I know why they want our planet so badly. And it has nothing to do with resources. She looked up from her work. What then? They're dying, he replied. Their genetic code is degrading. They need fresh genetic material, our material, to save their species. We're not just targets. We're a cure. High above Earth, the battle was rejoined, but this time, humanity's immunity wouldn't save them. The real war for survival had only just begun. The battle in orbit raged for 3 days. Earth's defense fleet, though outgunned, had managed to hold the line through sheer determination and the advantage of fighting on home ground. 5 alien motherships had been destroyed, but at a terrible cost. Only 4 human vessels remained operational, including the Defender. Jack Reynolds hadn't slept in 72 hours. His uniform was stained with blood from a head wound sustained during a particularly violent impact. The bridge of the Defender was operating on emergency power. "Status report," he croaked, his voice hoarse from shouting orders. "Shields at 18%, sir," Emma reported. "Railgun ammunition down to 15%. All nuclear ordnance depleted." Jack nodded grimly. "And the alien fleet? Still 15 motherships operational. They're regrouping behind the moon." The comm system crackled to life. "Captain Reynolds, this is Dr. Parker. We need to talk. Urgently." Minutes later, Jack was staring at Parker's face on the view screen. The scientist looked as exhausted as Jack felt. "I'm listening, Doctor, but make it quick. We're expecting another attack soon." "We've made a breakthrough," Parker said. "The aliens, the ones calling themselves the Galactic Unity, they didn't evolve naturally. They were engineered, Captain. And so were we." Jack blinked. "What are you talking about?" "We've deciphered more of their language from the captured ships," Parker explained. "There are references to beings they call the architects who seeded life throughout the galaxy millions of years ago. The Galactic Unity species was designed as a kind of administrative race, meant to oversee development of other worlds. And humans. We were an experiment. The architects were testing different quantum configurations of life. Most seeded species exist in what the aliens call primary quantum alignment, but Earth was seeded with life existing in a secondary alignment. That's why their phased weapons don't affect us. We're literally vibrating at a different frequency of existence." Jack rubbed his temples. "So why are they attacking us now? After all this time?" Lisa Nguyen appeared beside Parker on the screen. "Because they're dying out. Their genetic code was designed with a built-in obsolescence. They need fresh genetic material from another architect-designed species to survive, and our unique quantum state makes us the perfect donors. They don't want Earth's resources. They want us." "There's more," Parker added. "The bacteria we discovered that's lethal to them. It wasn't an accident. The architects built in a failsafe in case their administrative species ever went rogue. Earth's entire biosphere is toxic to them if they try to integrate our genetic material without proper protocols." Jack's mind raced. "So they can't just harvest us, or they'll die anyway." "Exactly," Lisa confirmed. "They need to capture humans alive and conduct careful, controlled genetic extraction." "How does this help us win the war?" Jack demanded. Parker leaned forward. "We've adapted their phase technology to create a new weapon. It won't harm their ships, but it will disrupt their life support systems. We can force them to retreat without destroying them completely." "And if they don't retreat?" Lisa answered, her voice solemn. "Then we have weaponized the bacteria. It would be genocide, Captain." Jack closed his eyes briefly. "Prepare both options. I'll take the phase disruptors. The bacterial weapon is absolute last resort only." As the call ended, Lieutenant Davis approached. "Sir, we're detecting movement. The alien fleet is advancing again." Jack straightened in his chair, prepared to receive the new weapons from Geneva and open a channel to the alien flagship. It's time they learned exactly who they're dealing with. The next transmission with Admiral Krell would reveal yet another layer to the cosmic game being played, one that would forever change humanity's understanding of its place in the universe. "They're responding to our hail," Emma announced, surprise evident in her voice. Admiral Krell's face appeared on the main screen, his compound eyes reflecting the lights of his command center. "Captain Reynolds, you continue to resist despite the futility of your situation. Admirable, but foolish." Jack leaned forward in his chair. "Admiral, we know the truth. About the architects, about why you're really here." Krell's posture changed subtly. "You could not possibly understand." "We understand perfectly," Jack interrupted. "Your species is dying. Your genetic code is breaking down, just as the architects designed it to do. You need our DNA to survive, but our biology is toxic to yours without proper protocols. Silence hung between them for several seconds. "How could you know this?" Krell finally asked, his voice quieter. "The same way we figured out why your phase weapons don't work on us. We may be younger than your civilization, but we're quick learners." The alien admiral's eyes narrowed. "Then you understand why we cannot leave. This is survival." "It's attempted genocide," Jack countered. "But it doesn't have to be. We have scientists who might be able to help you without requiring our extinction." Krell made a sound that might have been a bitter laugh. "You would help those who came to conquer you. We would consider helping those who stand down and request assistance peacefully," Jack replied firmly. "Your choice, Admiral." Before Krell could respond, another alien appeared beside him, this one wearing elaborate ornamentation that suggested higher rank. "This discussion is over," the new alien said. "I am Supreme Commander Vex. Admiral Krell is relieved of duty for his failure to complete this simple extraction. Prepare to be boarded, humans. Those who surrender will be processed humanely. Those who resist will suffer." The transmission cut off abruptly. "Sir," Emma reported, tension in her voice. "They're launching boarding craft. Hundreds of them." Jack activated the ship-wide communication system. "All hands, prepare to repel boarders. Security teams to your stations." He turned to his weapons officer. "Are the modified phase disruptors ready?" "Yes, sir. Geneva transmitted the designs 20 minutes ago. Engineering has retrofitted our remaining conventional weapons. Target their life support systems only," Jack ordered. "Fire when ready." The human fleet unleashed a barrage of energy that looked different from any weapon they had previously deployed. A shimmering, almost liquid light that passed through the alien ships' hulls as if they were insubstantial. On the tactical display, Jack watched as environmental readings from the alien vessels began to fluctuate wildly. "It's working," Emma reported. "Their life support is failing on multiple ships." The alien response was immediate and devastating. Massive kinetic projectiles slammed into Earth's remaining ships. The Defender shuddered violently as a direct hit destroyed its main engine section. "We've lost propulsion," the engineering officer shouted over the blaring alarms. "Hull breach on decks 3 through 6. Even as his ship was falling apart around him, Jack saw that their attack had been effective. Several alien vessels were drifting, their systems compromised. "Sir," Emma called out, "I'm detecting strange energy readings from the alien flagship. It's like nothing we've seen before." The main view screen activated without command, showing a sphere of swirling energy forming between the alien ships. Within it, a figure began to take shape, humanoid but clearly neither human nor of the Galactic Unity species. Its body appeared to be composed of intricate patterns of light, children of different quantum states. The being spoke, its voice somehow understandable despite having no visible mouth. The experiment was not meant to result in this conflict. Jack stared in disbelief. "Who? What are you?" "All ships, cease fire," Jack ordered, his voice carrying across all human communication channels. He then opened a direct line to the alien fleet. "This is Captain Jack Reynolds of Earth. To all vessels of the Galactic Unity, we propose an immediate cessation of hostilities." For several tense moments, there was no response. The damaged ships on both sides drifted in the silence of space, emergency systems working to maintain what little life support remained. Finally, Admiral Krell's voice came through. "Supreme Commander Vex is dead. His ship's life support failed completely. I have resumed command of our fleet, and I am open to discussion." Jack exhaled slowly. "We have information about the source of your genetic degradation. It's not natural. It's being induced by a signal from an architect installation on the edge of our solar system. The architects betray us." Krell's voice was a mixture of shock and rage. "Not betrayal," Jack replied. "A test, according to the entity we just saw. Dr. Parker, please explain what you've discovered." Parker's voice joined the channel. "Admiral Krell, the signal is designed to accelerate genetic breakdown in your species When you attempt to harvest another architect-seeded world without consent, it's essentially forcing an evolutionary choice. Adapt through cooperation or die as conquerors. Emma leaned close to Jack and whispered, "Sir, Geneva is reporting that multiple world governments have authorized deployment of the bacterial weapon if negotiations fail." Jack nodded grimly, but kept his focus on the communication. "Admiral, we propose a joint mission to the Pluto installation. Your people know more about architect technology than we do. Together, we might find a way to disable the signal and stop your genetic deterioration. Why would you help us after we tried to harvest your world?" Krell asked suspiciously. "Because the alternative is mutual destruction," Jack answered honestly. "And because if the architect was telling the truth, this is exactly what we're supposed to do, find a way forward together." Hours later, a joint team was assembled. The Defender, despite its damage, would carry a mixed crew of humans and Unity aliens to Pluto. Among them was Dr. Lisa Nguyen, whose discovery of the shared genetic markers had been the first clue to the deeper mystery. As the Unity medical officers came aboard, Lisa approached the first one cautiously. "I'm Dr. Nguyen. I'll be leading the human scientific team." The alien, smaller than Admiral Krell, and with a distinctly female appearance, inclined her head. "I am Chief Geneticist Tala. Your discovery about our condition was impressive. We still have a lot to learn from each other," Lisa replied diplomatically. Meanwhile, Jack and Admiral Krell met in the Defender's conference room, both flanked by security personnel. "Your weapons were designed not to kill us," Jack observed, "just to incapacitate for harvesting." Krell's compound eyes fixed on Jack. "And your bacterial weapon would have meant extinction for my entire species. It seems both sides were prepared for atrocities." "Let's focus on the mission," Jack suggested, unwilling to debate ethics with a being who had come to Earth as a conqueror. "The journey to Pluto will take 2 weeks with our damaged engines. Can your people survive that long?" "With the limited genetic stabilization treatments we've developed, yes," Krell confirmed, "though not much longer without a permanent solution." As the unlikely alliance prepared for departure, Dr. Parker made one final discovery in the alien genetic code, a sequence that exactly matched a supposedly junk DNA section in humans. When properly activated, it would allow both species to perceive the quantum frequency of the other. "It's like we were designed to eventually see each other fully," he explained to Jack before the Defender departed. "There's a resonance point where our different quantum states can harmonize." Jack considered this. "So the architects wanted us to find each other all along?" Parker nodded. "It appears so. But they wanted it to happen through cooperation, not conquest." As the Defender left Earth orbit, heading for the distant Pluto installation, neither humans nor aliens realized that the architect's appearance had triggered another ancient system, one that would either unite them completely or destroy them both if they failed the ultimate test. The journey to Pluto proved more challenging than anticipated. With the Defender's engines operating at only 40% capacity, the trip stretched from 2 weeks to nearly a month. During this time, the forced proximity between humans and Unity aliens created both tension and unexpected bonds. In the ship's makeshift laboratory, Lisa worked alongside Tala to understand the genetic degradation afflicting the Unity species. The alien geneticist had initially been reserved, but as days passed, a cautious professional respect developed between them. "Your DNA contains sequences that ours lacks entirely," Tala observed, her slender blue fingers manipulating the holographic genetic model. "Yet the core architect markers are identical." Lisa nodded, and the junk DNA Parker identified. "It's like a key waiting for the right lock." "A key to what?" "I think," Lisa said carefully, "it might allow our different quantum states to align temporarily. A bridge between our realities." On the bridge, Jack and Admiral Krell had established an uneasy working relationship. The alien commander had grown visibly weaker as the journey progressed, the genetic degradation taking its toll despite the stabilization treatments. "You should rest," "Admiral," Jack suggested, noticing how Krell's luminescence had dimmed. "Time is one luxury I don't have," Krell replied. He hesitated, then added, "I want you to know, Captain, that not all of us agreed with the harvesting protocol. Some of us advocated for contact first, but you came anyway." "Survival is a powerful motivator," Krell said simply. "Wouldn't you have done the same for your people?" Jack had no answer that satisfied him. As they finally approached Pluto, the Defender sensors detected the Architect installation, a structure embedded within the dwarf planet itself, extending several kilometers below the icy surface. "How do we get inside?" Jack asked during the final planning meeting. Tala displayed a scan of the installation. "There appears to be an entrance designed for ships approximately our size. The problem will be activating it. Architect technology responds to specific quantum signatures. Signatures neither of our species possesses individually," Lisa added, "but together, using the resonance sequence we've discovered." "You want to attempt quantum alignment?" Krell asked sharply. "The risks are considerable," Lisa acknowledged. "But if we're right about what the architects intended, this is exactly what we need to do." The plan was simultaneously simple and incredibly complex. Lisa and Tala had developed a procedure to temporarily activate the dormant sections of both human and Unity DNA using a modified version of the aliens' phase technology. If successful, it would allow a small team, human and alien together, to exist in a harmonized quantum state for approximately 1 hour, long enough to enter the installation and hopefully deactivate the degradation signal, Lisa explained. "And if you're wrong?" Jack asked. "Then the quantum resonance could tear apart the cellular structure of everyone involved," Tala stated matter-of-factly. Despite the risks, there were volunteers from both species. Jack insisted on leading the human contingent, while Krell, despite his weakened condition, refused to send his people where he would not go himself. The preparation for quantum resonance was conducted in the Defender's shuttle bay. 6 humans and 6 Unity aliens stood in a circle, connected by equipment hastily assembled from both technologies. "The process will be painful," Tala warned. "Our bodies will resist the quantum shift." Jack looked at Krell. Last chance to find another way. The alien admiral's compound eyes reflected the blue emergency lighting. "There is no other way, Captain. My people have weeks at most before genetic collapse becomes irreversible." Lisa activated the device. Immediately, all 12 participants convulsed in pain as energy coursed through them. Jack felt as if every atom in his body was being pulled apart and reassembled. His vision blurred, then sharpened with startling clarity. When the process stabilized, the world looked different. The Unity aliens no longer appeared solid. They seemed to shimmer between states, sometimes almost transparent, sometimes more solid than the humans around them. And based on their reactions, the humans appeared similarly transformed to alien eyes. "It worked," Lisa gasped, her voice sounding strange to her own ears. "We're in quantum resonance." The moment their hands touched the crystal pillar, consciousness expanded beyond physical form. Jack found himself, or rather, his perception, floating in a vast space filled with stars. Beside him, he sensed rather than saw Admiral Krell and the others. "Welcome, children," came a voice that seemed to emanate from everywhere. 3 luminous figures appeared before them, architects in their true form, beings of pure energy and thought. "You have passed the initial test," one of them said. "You chose cooperation over mutual destruction. Was all this suffering necessary?" Jack demanded, finding he could communicate through thought alone in this space. "The Unity species is dying. Earth was nearly conquered. The suffering was regrettable but required," another architect responded. "We seeded thousands of worlds across the galaxy, each with life designed to exist in different quantum states. Only those species that can overcome their limitations and reach harmony are ready for what comes next." "Ready for what?" Krell's thoughts projected confusion and anger. "Ascension," the third architect answered. Evolution beyond physical form. The Unity was created with a genetic timer, not as punishment, but as motivation to seek connection with other quantum states of life. Humans were created with immunity to Unity weapons for the same reason, to force both sides to find another solution. The first architect moved closer. Now you must make a choice. We can deactivate the degradation signal, allowing the Unity species to survive in their current form. Or what? Jack asked. Or we can activate the full genetic potential in both your species. The resonance you've achieved temporarily can become permanent. Humanity and Unity merged into something new, the next stage of cosmic evolution. Lisa's presence flared with scientific curiosity. A new species altogether. Not exactly. The second architect explained. Each individual would remain distinct, but capable of perceiving and interacting with all quantum states of reality. The beginning of what you might call a universal consciousness. The implications were staggering. Jack sensed the Union representative's desperate hope. This offered not just survival but transcendence. Yet he also felt the human team's hesitation at such a fundamental change to their nature. What about the rest of humanity and the Unity population? Jack asked. Do we make this choice for everyone? No, the architects replied in unison. You will return as guardians of the knowledge. The transformation must be voluntary, and it will take time, perhaps generations, to complete across both your civilizations. Some may never choose to change. That too is part of the design. In the silence that followed, Jack and Krell communicated wordlessly, two leaders weighing the future of their respective species. I accept, Krell finally projected. My people face extinction otherwise, and even without that threat, I have seen enough of humanity to know that together we could achieve greatness. Jack hesitated longer. Humanity wasn't dying. They could continue as they were, immune to Unity weapons, secure in their separate quantum state. But to remain isolated when something greater was possible. I accept as well, he decided. Not for all humanity. That choice belongs to each person, but as the first step toward a new future. The architect's luminosity intensified. Then it shall be done. Light engulfed them, penetrating to the cellular level, rewriting what they were into what they could become. When it faded, they found themselves back in the chamber, physically unchanged yet fundamentally different. Jack looked at Krell and gasped. The alien admiral was fully visible now, not shifting between states but solid and real in a way that transcended normal perception. Based on the expressions of wonder on both teams' faces, everyone was experiencing the same transformation. The degradation signal has been neutralized, Tala announced, checking her instruments. And more, our genetic structure has stabilized completely. The degeneration is reversing. Lisa studied her own readings. Our DNA has changed too. The formerly dormant sections are now fully activated. As they prepared to return to the Defender with their momentous discoveries, the crystal pillar displayed one final message in both human and Unity languages. You are the first, but not the last. Guide others who are ready. In Unity across quantum states lies the future of all consciousness in this universe. 3 months later, on Earth, humanity faced its greatest decision. The Unity fleet had withdrawn to a respectful distance, no longer enemies but potential partners. Those who had undergone the transformation, including Jack, Lisa, and the original team, served as living proof of what was possible.